I'm Paul too.
And I'm Arlene Lee, and we are the co-chairs of the Social Action Committee for Racial Justice. The Social Action Committee for Racial Justice is a volunteer membership organization. We're not a 501c3. There are over 200 members. We started in 2017 after a series of undoing racism trainings on the Eastern Shore, and afterwards a group of us decided we wanted to address systemic racism in Kent County through action-oriented efforts.
We've been doing racism training. We've held them in Kent County and we've held them in other counties on the shore. We have a youth group, students talking about race, and they led trainings at Washington College. And we were able to hold the official sister March for Our Lives in Chestertown, led by our young people. We also extended a hand to sit down with local politicians running for office in Kent County, the school board, county commissioner, and town council.
And that was covered by the Kent News, by the Spy, with full excerpts from their various interviews on their beliefs around racism in the county and what they might do about it.
And Arlene co-chairs with our state's attorney, Brian DeGregory, Achieving Justice Together.
Which has allowed us to have monthly meetings with law enforcement, other members of the criminal justice system, the community, and youth to, in real time, solve various problems that the community brings to the table.
And now we're knee-deep in our biggest operation to date, feeding our most vulnerable population in the midst of a global pandemic right here in Kent County, Maryland.
For Marylanders, the actions that I have announced here today will be disruptive to your everyday lives. And they may sound extreme, and they may sound frightening.
To be honest with you, we've never been through something like this before. Ever.
Phase 1, make sure the kids be fed. Phase 2 was feeding our seniors. Phase 3 is taking care of our homeless community.
We know that COVID is affecting our Black community more than our white community across the country. In Maryland, we've seen the numbers, and it's very important for our organization to step up and address that, but in concert with the rest of the community.
We started pushing the narrative through our site leaders and 2 people coming to get lunch. Hey, tell a friend that this is out here. And it wasn't about if you had a freezer full of food. It was about trying to hold on to your freezer full of food, take advantage of this food, which is free because of the uncertainty around COVID.
We had no intention of doing anything around COVID until Paul made a call to me.
By Thursday, I knew schools were going to shut down.
When Paul called and we realized that the schools were only going to be serving lunches, that meant that over 1,000 children in Kent County who are used to getting both breakfast and lunch at the schools were only going to get 1 meal a day. And so we knew that there were going to be children who were going to be hungry.
We reached out to the committee and decided we were going to try to address the breakfast needs.
We knew that in our leadership we were able to do this work because I had worked for the last 4 governors as the executive director of the Governor's Office for Children.
I work for the Kent County Local Management Board, who has partnered with us and has been a big help.
This effort, meeting food security needs, is a perfect example of how we're ensuring equity, that we're reaching every pocket of our community.
We reached out to Myra Butler, who is head of Parks and Rec, and asked if we could use this space as the center of our operations.
It was a matter of, this is our need, this is our ask, can you? Absolutely, what do you need from me?
Then the school said they were going to have 3 sites at elementary schools. Because of our experience with how underserved populations are unable to get places because of transportation problems, we decided to bring up sites closer to communities. The Betterton Fire Hall, the Millington Town Office, the Baywood Village Community Room, and then here at the Community Center. Within a week of Paul's call, we were set up to serve breakfast and lunch.
What we were also doing was going out knocking on doors with our breakfast bags. And we found, for example, grandmothers taking care of 6 to 8 grandchildren, and they couldn't load them up and get them in the cars to pick up food. We took that information to the school system. They put their bus drivers back to work and allowed us to put volunteers on those buses. We could go deep into the community to let people know that the bus had food for children. And the number shot up from serving 200 kids to serving 700 kids. We knew this initiative was going to take more than just our hands. We knew it was going to take more than our teams.
We put up on Facebook a way for other people to volunteer. And people stepped up in a big way. We had 100 volunteers by the end of the first week.
I saw Paul had posted a picture the first day they started bringing stuff in, and I wanted to help. I wanted to be part of it, and I haven't left since.
I feel like I'm healthy right now, so I need to be able to support people that maybe aren't as healthy.
I was already volunteer for AmeriCorps, but when Paul gave me the phone call and asked me to volunteer, of course I hopped right onto it.
I did this to get out of the house, make new friends, kill time.
Arlene, my wife, got me involved in this from the very beginning. What she wanted me to do was help coordinate the delivery routes because a long time ago I worked for UPS. This is so much better than sitting home in my house with nothing to do but, home projects.
The Kent County Public Schools said we could definitely partner with them, but everyone had to be trained on how to distribute food from their food service staff. By the first Tuesday that the school system was handing out lunches, we had 30 volunteers out at the high school who were all trained, but we knew going into this that we had to have very high protocols in order to be able to operate under Kent County's emergency operations and with the support of the health officer.
When you come in, whether you're a driver, whether you're going to be here making a bag, any type of volunteer effort, you have to check in with Mary Jordan.
They have to give us their temperature. They're supposed to take that before they come each morning. And then we have to ask them a couple questions, making sure that they don't have any symptoms of COVID. We have to ask them if they've been around someone who is suspected or does have COVID.
We provided sanitation boxes for every one of our sites. We've been incredibly careful, and as a result, no one has had any symptoms of COVID since we started.
People ask, were we scared to be out here like on the front lines? My reply to them has been, we didn't have time to be scared.
As we did week 1 and we were handing out food to students, people started showing up and asking us for food. And then we started hearing from caregiver programs that their seniors were not able to leave their houses and they needed someone to bring food to them. Now, drivers go out 2 times a week and they cover the entire county. We're up to 167 homes and 215 people. Since we are a membership organization, everything that we do are ideas that come from members. And one of our members said, what about the homeless? I took the idea to the health officer. He had no objections. And then I took it to the town council and proposed it to them.
The folks that have been served by the shelter are not being served now because the shelters are closed.
But the records show that we unanimously supported
Thank you.
the Social Action Committee's initiative to feed our homeless population. Thank you guys. You're doing incredible stuff.
And we started distributing lunch to homeless in Chestertown.
First 2 weeks, before we put out any list or any specific requests, people were just bringing random items from the grocery store, random items from their cupboard, and we had an overwhelming show of support from our community.
Mike B. Rhodes set up a horse trailer in front of his business so that people could do no-contact donations of non-perishable foods.
This was my wife's idea, and we've had a lot of donations.
People wanted to give us money, but we're not a nonprofit, so we can't take cash. So we went to Sumner Hall and asked if they would help us.
They're a 501c3, and they said, absolutely, we'll set up a separate fund. We can receive the money, and we'll do all of the thank you letters with the tax letters, and it's just been really great.
Well, it's very important for what Sumner Hall stands for. Back in history, they were here for the community, the African-American community, helped them financially.
We also had a donation from People's Bank that went to the community food pantry in Chestertown that they're using to buy from the Maryland Food Bank. And that's where we're getting canned corn, canned beans, canned mac and cheese, along with canned spaghetti.
And not long after, we got an amazing donation of 15 tons of food from Cisco, donated by the 22B Lions Club. These were restaurant-sized quantities of food. We couldn't just put them into bags. Barbara's on the Bay, Barbara Esmond, volunteers here. He then got in touch with 3 other chefs, Steve Quigg at the kitchen, Jeff Carroll at Fist Whistle, and Jermaine Leno at Jermaine's Carryout. And those chefs have been processing all of that food into meals.
So we're going to make a chicken a la king. That's something just go right in the oven and be heated with maybe some rice.
Okay.
We've got a lot of pasta that's been donated and canned tomatoes.
All right.
So we're going to make some marinara sauce, and we've got lots of ricotta cheese and mozzarella cheese. We're going to do some benziti.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we're going to wing it. It might not be pretty, but it's going to be delicious and nutritious.
Then a bunch of restaurants got on board to help us. Some stored food for us, like Stam's Luncheonette and the Retriever. And others were making food for us. Big's Ordinary, Kitty Night House, the Wine and Cheese Shops, 98 Cannon, and Louisa's.
Washington College gave us access to their freezers for storage space. The Food Lab, in addition, has also been baking fresh bread and delivering to us weekly.
We had all of these pizza shells in the Cisco delivery. We didn't know what we were going to do with them. And Barbara was like, make pizza kits. We contacted Luisa's, and they voluntarily brought out huge containers of their pizza sauce. We delivered 500 pizzas the first week, and then we just did another 400 pizza kits.
To market it, we came up with make it a movie and pizza night. For people who didn't stream movies, Chestertown Electronics, Corn, Jewelry, and Pond came to us and said they would offer movies for free.
One of the problems that we had with the Cisco delivery was we had this massive amount of food stored all over the county, and we had to bring it to the community center. And so then we turned to people like KRM, who agreed on a weekly basis to transfer food from storage for us to be able to give it away. At each point, we've had people say we're willing to help in some way.
After being out here week one, we realized that we probably need some protection from the weather. We contacted Price Rentals and Events, and they offered generously a tent. We had a situation we were running out of brown bags. Aline made a post, and the next day, bags just start showing up from everybody.
They brought 1,000 bags. The face masks would be the same thing. People from all over the counties just gave us hundreds of face masks, which we've been able to use for all of our volunteers.
What's going on here is absolutely incredible, and it just speaks to the power that food has to bring people together, especially in times of need. The heroic efforts here that have been going on since this started is nothing short of magical.
I'm a pretty tough old girl from Philadelphia, and it takes a lot to impress me, but I will tell you that I have never been more impressed with the grassroots startup organization and what I see every day when I am here at the community center and beyond.
We looked at the end of week 5 and we couldn't believe what we had accomplished. 9,000 breakfast bags to students, 1,230 senior bags that included 300 dinners that the chefs had made. We had 1,900 gallons of milk that we had shared with other counties. 780 of those were delivered in this county.
We were able to assist the Easter Bunny in delivering over 500 Easter baskets. And it wouldn't have been possible without our wonderful volunteers. People come out and they get their hands dirty.
We're out here Monday through Friday, anywhere from 8 to 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. When you get home each day, you do feel like you've put in a full day of work.
And it's people from all walks of life. We have people with plenty, we have people maybe with less than. But here, it doesn't matter.
I'm a mentor with Rising Sons mentoring program.
I'm a caterer and chef. I work for the Garfield Center for the Arts as a educational outreach coordinator and a production assistant.
I work part-time for Rebuilding Together Kent County, and then I have my own business.
I work for Queen Anne's County Board of Ed at Sellersville Middle School.
Formerly, I had a driving business.
Community Mediation Upper Shore.
I'm currently out of work. I actually just moved back to Kent County recently.
I do in-home care for children with special needs, and if Mom was working, that's where I would be.
So everyone's eyes have been opened in different ways.
There's a lot of poverty in this county, but you just don't see it because a lot of it's tucked back in the woods behind, the fields and everything that we see.
And we've had volunteers who are probably as much in need as many of the people we deliver to, who are saying things like, I didn't realize this county could step up to help like this.
People are touched, they get emotional.
What you guys are doing here to feed children and old people, our elderly, is wonderful. Just
When it's all said and done, and we're able to take a step back and collect our breaths, I think then it'll hit me.
Paul's right, it's gonna take a minute.
And my favorite quote has come actually from Arlene's husband.
This is one of the most enriching things that I've ever done in my life.
It summed it up for me. Yeah. The recipients, they've been super appreciative.
I have 6 children. We've been coming what days I can when I'm off from work to be blessed by the lunch program. It's been a huge blessing to the family and a lot of families in the Kent County area. We're very grateful for the workers and for them taking the time to do this and sacrificing their own health to make sure our families are taken care of.
Oh, it means a lot.
It's a great thing because sometimes you can be in places like this and think that they have forgotten you. But we're not forgotten.
At different sites, they come back with handwritten notes and artwork from some of the young people.
I want my kids to know that how to appreciate things and just appreciate people that do for you, because that's how the world goes round. We have to love one another.
The idea is not to do this forever, but to transition it to other entities that they can keep it going.
If you did not hear your name in this video and you've been a donor or you've been a volunteer, we do not want you to worry. We're keeping detailed records of every donor, every volunteer. KC strong.